Hello, this is Ron again. In this episode, we're going to be exploring how genetics works in Sims 2. I've loaded up the game and brought in Hogwarts University, which is a custom neighborhood I've built. I'm just going to go ahead and pop into create a family or create a Sims utility. Now with the genetics, which is a feature that was best known on Sims 2, they've been working on it in Sims 4. I'm really not fooled with it that much. I can't tell you how well it works there, but it was entirely missing from Sims 3. And in a nutshell, it lets you take DNA from the father and DNA from the mother and mix it together and hopefully make something interesting one way or the other in the child. And we're going to explore that a bit here in a minute. Create a new family, and we will pick what you want to do is pick things that are quite a bit different. If they're too similar, you can't really see the genetics in action, so you'll want to have different color eyes, different color hair, different color skin to really let this to show its full potential. So first of all, we need to create a family name. We'll name them Wazup family. Oops. Alright. So we'll go ahead and go into the Create a Sims. And I'll probably just pick a couple of canned people here. Pick a male first. Alright, let's see. Now the interesting thing about this is some of the models will make interesting looking kids, and you'll have, maybe above average looks, normal looks, and maybe below average looks, but they'll all turn out decent kids. Some of the models I find just absolutely diverge and just really create politically incorrect looking individuals. But anyway, it's still fun. Let me load up a character that I know will make alright. And we have to set a few attributes here. Just pick something here.
Whoa, please!
Okay, so now we have a male. Let's go pick a female. Let's see what we have here. That's interesting. Okay. She would probably work. Let me see what I have already pre-made. Okay, here we go. Let's pick tail her here Okay, give me just a moment here, and we'll get rolling on this. Let me check her eye color, and we'll set it to something. Okay, so that's brown. That will probably work. Let me pick green, so it will show up pretty obvious. Now in this, we're just going to be sharing DNA between the mother and the father. I think originally this was set up to where it was supposed to look all the way up the family lineage tree and perhaps even pick up genetics from the grandparents, but I'm not sure that was ever enabled, but I know it definitely mixes the DNA from the mother and father. So we'll do that. I might test later and see if it actually does pick up genetics from the grandparents. If it skips a generation and does that kind of thing. Okay, that's a blue-green. Let me just go with that. I tell you what, we'll just stay with the brown here. That'll be fine. Okay. So we need to set up a relationship here. We'll have them be married. So I'll be spouse of. And at this point, you can go in and to create a sim and babies. So that's what we're wanting to do. Nothing fancy with the genetics here. We're just going to be blending the DNA here. So we'll take a male child, and here we roll the dice. And let's roll it a few times, and you can see we're getting variations in skin color, variations in eyes. Sam has custom hair. They both have custom hair, so he picked up Sam's hair here. He has his mother's eyes and his mother's mouth, kind of a blend in the face. Let's see what he would look like as a teenager and as an adult. So yeah, you can take a peek and see what they look like at different life stages. Okay, there will be a toddler. So let's go ahead and roll a couple more here. Okay. Now there we have an interesting blend, which they picked up several different features, but I don't believe that nose belongs to either one of them. So that's interesting. So sometimes it does do some interesting things like that. And there he's got his dad's mouth, his dad's eyes, his mom's nose, and a blend of other features, it looks like. Maybe his mom's cheeks. Yeah, so as you can see, the genetics worked, and it worked quite well. Now, there was a bug in the game, and unless you actually come in and started this random number generator thing here by clicking Make a Child, before a woman had a baby, it wouldn't always engage the genetic part of the program. It wouldn't actually blend the DNA. So there's a couple of workarounds they made. There's an item you can click that will save the game off real quick, fire that generator, and you can come back in and then have the babies. But now once it's been fired, as long as you don't leave that live, you can have several children and it will work. But that's a bug I think they never worked out of the SIMS 2 system, which is a shame. Genetics is quite important, especially if you're running a Dynasty where you have, like, you start with a particular person and you want them to, you want to run like 10 generations and see how the family turns out. So it's a pretty neat thing. You know, let's make a few girl children and see what they look like. So you're seeing a mix-up. It's usually swapping back and forth between the eyes, what they have, but it's blending the skin sometimes. Sometimes it's giving a straight-up skin of one of them, and sometimes it's getting identical copies of noses and mouths, but sometimes it's blending those as well. So it's pretty neat the way it works. As you can see, you know, you could do the same thing if you married a couple and had 10 children and see what they look like. But this can kind of give you a preview as to what could happen. So let's cancel this and let's go change a couple things here. Alright, so let's go ahead and edit Sam. And we're going to edit him quite a bit. We're going to actually, let's do something else. I'm going to completely erase those guys out and pick a couple more. we'll mix it up with another pair. Actually, let's just do some randoms here. Pick one. Select a few aspirations and turn-ons and turn-offs here, just at random. Okay, so I'll need to have these two married again, and then we'll go back to the genetic baby generator and see what happens. What in the world did I just do? Well, that was a total wash. I really screwed up here somewhere. Alright, I'll load this back up in just a second and try that again. But basically, you see how that worked, and it's a feature that was completely missing from Sims 3. They do have it in Sims 4, but I'm not fluid enough to know how well it worked. So let's go back to create a family again. We'll try one more set and we'll see how that turns out. Let me actually save the family out and maybe run the family. Okay. I screwed that up. Pick up a pair that I know will probably diverge and really have some strange looking children. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy up. I'll send him out real quick.
Hey, Vlad!
Let's try this combination. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this should be interesting. Again, we have to have them married, so make it spouse of, and we'll go back to the baby generator and do a little genetic combining here. Okay, so yeah, you can get some bizarre combinations sometimes. I mean, sometimes they're not too bad. Now that one, the child is a little below average in looks, I'd have to say. You can also jump over and see what it would look like as a guy. He actually looks better as a guy than a girl. Let's pop a few more through there. As you can see here, you're going to see a lot of more pronounced modifications. So you can have some rather interesting individuals come out of this. And if you find what you like, you can take and, of course, see what it looks like in different life cycles of a child, and you'll see what he or her looks like as a toddler. And you can take, and if you decide to pick one, you can go and doctor it a little bit. Like, say, if we decided to take this child, you can come in and then modify facial features to he would still have the same genetics that we just rolled. So that would be built into this person. They would have the genetics that was just rolled, which would be passed on to their children. So as you can see, this he has some really wide cheekbones here, and so you had two fairly attractive parents. Turned out a child was not quite attractive. So that happens in the genetics. So that's what makes it interesting. And then this child would pass on his genes to the next round, and so forth and so on. And that made it really interesting in Sims 2, and that's something that was sorely missed in the Sims 3, in my opinion. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that out, and that's about all I had for this today. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.